making sure I didn't forget anything. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show, friends. Please join me in welcoming Mike Evans to FMM. Mike was indeed a man with a mission to bring back the new metal sound that we all fell in love with back when Limp Bizkit and Korn reigned supreme. Mike is an incredibly dynamic vocalist and frontman whose intensity and openness to share the human experience have helped Profiler carve out a very powerful space in modern nu metal. His vocal delivery nails a perfect balance of raw aggression and emotional weight that great nu metal thrives on. Profiler have been doing an amazing job of channeling the intensity and groove of the genre while pushing it into a modern space, and Mike's presence is a huge reason their music hits as hard as it does. Mike Evans, welcome to Fuck, Marry Music, my friend.
Oh, thank you very much for that introduction. That's super sweet. And yeah, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Very happy to have you. Everyone in the chat, please let me know if there's any issues with the audio, as you always do, and I'm sure you will. First of all, how are you doing? It looks like you're on holiday. Are you in Portugal still?
No, I just got back. I went for a few days just to get out of the UK because it's very grey, windy, cold here. So I was like, nope.
Yep.
So I went there for a few days, which was great. But no, now I'm back in the cold. So yeah,
Right. And
it's all.
are you in Bristol?
No, I'm near Salisbury, which is not far from Bristol,
Okay.
um, in kind of the middle of nowhere, but it's quite peaceful. It's all right.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Peaceful's good, especially when you're, a metal musician. It's probably nice to get out of that and have a little
Yeah.
calm.
It's probably not peaceful for the neighbors because I'm screaming here all the time, but, for me, it's pretty peaceful.
I love that. That's so funny. Do you have to have you gotten complaints yet? Do you have to keep it like early in the day?
No, I'm actually quite lucky. The next door neighbor, like, says she can hear it, but she doesn't mind. Then I think there's, like, a deaf woman, like, the way down the road, so, we're good. I can
We love a
scream.
deaf woman. That's perfect for us.
Ideal.
Wow. Also, I know that you guys just had an amazing headlining show and, Profiler's been your baby for a very long time now. How was
Mhm.
that for you? What was that experience like to finally pull the trigger on a really big show?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, 100%, like, I think it kind of blew everyone's expectations, to be honest. Like, I think we all thought it was gonna be great. But, yeah, sort of leading up to it all went really, really fast up until, on stage, and then, yeah, it just kinda popped off, like, everyone was going mental, loads of people, like, screaming the lyrics, so it was a very, satisfying, definitely emotional feeling for all of us, and I think it kind of proved that the band is definitely working, so, yeah, it was great.
It really is. I mean, the crowd singing the lyrics back to you. Ugh, like what a moment. I bet that's been
Yeah.
going on for you guys for a little bit though.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't think in the same, like, capacity. There was, like, a lot of people, and you could, like, really hear it. So that was, yeah, very satisfying. It was
That would
cool.
bring a tear to my eye, I think, on stage,
Mhm.
just seeing that happening. Ugh, it's amazing. Good for
Yeah,
you. Congratulations.
thank you so much.
So, I want to talk about your background a little bit. Excuse me. I know you answer these types of questions all the time. And of course, we have to talk about your musical influences. There's no way that I could dance around that, of course. But I also want to talk about your early experiences as a music listener. I believe I heard in another interview that you said you had some siblings who exposed you to music early on. Were they musicians in your family or just music lovers?
Yeah, just siblings that were sort of like 10 years older than me, so very much 90s kids. And none of them musicians. No one's really musical in the family. I'm not really sure where it came from. um, but yeah, I just kind of grew up on that 90s sound. So obviously Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, and Significant Other and Hot Dog, mainly from my brother, Will. We're quite similar. So I'd say listening to that was pretty big coming up. And then also I think my first CD was System of a Down, like the titled one with the hand on it. Um, and I must have been like 6, 7, like listening to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty early exposure to it. So I've definitely got them to thank because I was like hooked because it was like the first music I like properly heard, and it's like all I've listened
Wow.
to my whole life.
That's crazy. So you didn't start with, like, another genre and then break into nu metal, it was like hit the ground running, System of a Down.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I think there was a bit of, like, Rolling Stones and stuff from my dad, and The Who, stuff like that, the sort of thing he grew up on. But, yeah, I don't know, it was just, like, as soon as I heard that type of music, and, like, the production still stands up today, so listening to that was on headphones as a kid
Mhm.
was like, "Oh my god."
And no
Um,
musicians in the family, that's crazy. So were you, like, playing the guitar super loud and they're like, "Shut the hell up, we're trying to sleep."
yeah, kind of. I mean, it's like a School of Rock quote, so I always sound stupid saying it, but I used to play classical,
Mm,
now I play rock. That's the quote.
yep.
No, I was playing acoustic guitar for quite a long time, so I don't think it was that annoying. Um, and then I went to school and kind of played guitar there, so I don't think it bothered anyone, but, I can check because 'cause I'm not sure.
Right? Right. So you didn't so, like, even as your taste, in music got more complex, did you break off into any genres? Like, I mean, you said you did classical, but, like, blues, jazz, anything like that?
A little bit, I guess, when I went to uni, we started learning, like, because I did guitar, at uni, so I started learning, like, scales and theory a little bit, but I wasn't crazy of a fan, like, I always like learning unconventional stuff, like detuning and just, like, riffing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I definitely listen to stuff outside of metal, like hip hop, singer-songwriter stuff like Ben Howard, um and stuff that isn't like metal, like, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Foo Fighters, so there's quite a wide range of stuff I listen to. I just think new metal is the bomb.
I agree. It is the fucking bomb. Straight up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to learn the music theory stuff when you're a rock artist to know what rules to break, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I was asking Jade, he told me I should ask you about your use of the tritone and how intentional that is, and if there's certain intervals that have a certain sound that you go back to, because I have a feeling that you do.
I think there's a little bit of that, but I basically always try and just go off, like, my ear, and my theory knowledge is so minimal. So when I am doing stuff, Joe, our bass player, might be like, "Ah, that's Mixolydian scale, whatever," and
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, but I didn't know." So to be honest, yeah, it's like all by ear, zero theory. So I apologize to anyone if that upsets them, but
I love
yeah.
that. I was up on my soapbox preaching to my chat because I have a lot of guitar players, a lot of musicians come and share their music in my community. And,
Mhm.
you get people that learn by ear, and then you get people that know everything under the sun about music theory.
Yeah,
And as I'm getting older, I'm becoming of the belief that music theory actually hinders the creative process. There's too much to know. You get too caught up trying to figure out, oh, which chord is supposed to go next, or what's the relative minor of this key, and blah, blah, blah. So
sure.
it's refreshing to me to hear you say that that was your experience as well. It's like, yeah, 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 these rules are cool, but I'm not interested in them, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I think that theory is super useful. You got bands like Snarky Puppy, and obviously you wouldn't be able to even get close to being in that band if you didn't know like extensive theory. I mean, it does make certain musicians better, but exactly what you said, I always find like it doesn't like hinder it for me because I'm not even thinking about it, but I could see how, if you're going like, oh yeah, where should this solo go next based on the scale? For
Mhm.
me, it's just like, I don't know, what sounds right, what feels right, and that's always how I've gone about doing it, basically.
I
Yeah.
think that's the better way to do it. If when I have people in front of me that are like, "Oh, I think I'm a, new musician, I wanna start taking some music theory." Your time is much better spent learning your instrument. Just play scales on
Mm,
your instrument. Don't worry about the
yeah,
theory.
yeah, exactly.
So, let's talk about your new metal influences. I know you talked about them a little bit. I had some questions myself, particularly. I mean, anyone with ears can hear the Linkin Park. I mean, sorry, the Limp Bizkit influence. Okay, we get it. It's
Yeah,
there, and it's great.
yeah,
Um, what I really like, which I mentioned in one of my clips, is kind of the mashup for you between Deftones and Limp Bizkit. I feel like what I'm noticing is your Deftones influence is kind of keeping shape in the hook of most of your songs or even in like a breakdown part. I think all of your music, like the instrumental behind, is very Corn. It's very like heavy and dark. And then you have
Okay.
that punchy, rappy kind of Limp Bizkit style. My question is, did you listen to Saliva when you were growing up?
No, I don't know who that is.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
show me, because I know you have extensive new metal knowledge, but I've never heard of that.
I wouldn't say extensive. Okay, what about the song? Do you know the song Click Click Boom?
Corn?
Oh, okay. All right, we gotta do this right now. We're gonna do it right now.
So there's probably fans out there like, "How does he not know?" But, no, I don't know.
Click
Click,
click.
click, boom.
All right, let's see. Let's just see if you recognize this at all.
That's the first right. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Right? Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Sorry, we had to take a break for that.
it's gotta be done. But that's how it should be, that's how I want our music videos to look, but we just don't have, like,
Yes.
40, 50 grand or however much that
I
costs.
know. I
Okay,
know. But
crazy.
you're getting there, okay? And we're gonna get you there. We're gonna keep promoting your shit until you're there and we're in the audience during the filming,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah, that's what's happening. I love it.
So no Saliva, but Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, System of a Down, Korn. Were there any other major influences that people wouldn't think are influences here?
For sure, Incubus, massive influence. Um, I don't wanna say they're underrated because I don't think they are, but, less well known to people, which I think is weird because 'cause they're huge. But Incubus, Brandon Boyd's vocals, the guitarist from Incubus is insane. Um, so them for sure. Um, I'm trying to think, maybe a little bit of Evanescence, but I wouldn't say
Hmm.
it like influences our music. I just did grow up when they were big.
Hmm.
Um, who else? We said Deftones, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, System of a Down, um,
Slipknot?
Slipknot, kind of. I was obsessed with them, but it's not the sort of music I would want to make because they do it so well.
Right.
Um, Metallica, I guess, a little bit of that in there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to rack my brains because there's like the obvious ones that people can hear in our music, and there is
Mhm.
stuff that's less obvious. Silverchair, Nirvana, Oasis as well. It's probably a bit of that that inspires us. Yeah.
So, I'm curious, do you recall the first show you ever went to?
Yeah, the first show I went to was Rolling Stones, um,
Wow.
in Twickenham, Stadium. I'm pretty sure that's right. When I was a wee young lad, must have been, I don't know, I was pretty young, like 8 or 9, with my family. So, like, up in the, seats in the stadium, and I still remember it pretty well. But I remember thinking, like, "These guys are really old," like, and they're going through it, and this is, like, 20 years ago. The fact that they're still, like, killing it is crazy. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, that was the first concert, and then I saw Enter Shikari, like, 10 times or something in the space of, like, a year, um,
Wow.
when I was, like, pretty young, I guess 15 or something. I might have to check my math on that, but that was a band I remember being really young and really into with all my mates from school, and we used to just, like, go around the country to where they were playing. Um, yeah, that
That's
was sick.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So, what so that was your first show. What was, like, the best show you ever went to that you can recall?
Um, I'm trying to think. I saw Muse at Reading Festival. I thought they were amazing live.
Based.
Yeah, they're
Based.
crazy. Like, Matt Bellamy, guitarist and vocalist, crazy, absolute wizard. That's definitely one of the best gigs I've ever seen. Um, I'm trying to think recently. I saw Throne recently in Bristol.
Ooh, that's a good one.
They were sick.
You should be on
Uh,
tour with them.
I agree. Yeah, that would be awesome. We'd
100%.
love that. We'd love that. We should want to be on tour with them. Alpha Wolf, Thornhill, bands like that.
Thornhill
It'd be
is
sick.
definitely up your alley too. I think Thornhill, Unprocessed, North Lane,
Yeah, yeah.
New Family Values.
North Lane as well is a great one. I mean, we did play with them, um, and the show that we played with them when they came on after us, yeah, they're so high level, it's crazy. Just their like soundscape, the production, the layering, like they're geniuses, absolute top of their game. So shout out to North Lane.
So sick. Davasaurus Rex is asking Cane Hill.
Yeah, they're sick. Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah, I saw them with my mate, and Joe in Southampton, and they were dope. But I hadn't really heard of them before, but since then I've listened to them a lot, and they're sick.
Do you remember, like, what was so great about the Muse show that it was, like, right at the forefront of your mind when I asked you for the best show you've been to?
I don't know, but they're just thinking about it is I'm pretty sure there's a video of me on YouTube wearing an all, like, cow onesie,
Yes!
uh, on someone's shoulders. You can, like, see me in the distance being like, um but yeah, I think it was probably the cow onesie that added to the, excitement of it all,
That's awesome.
and then I don't know, I think it was just yeah, just, like, the quality, like, the sound system they got, like, right. I was, like, pretty near the front, so I was, like, at the perfect range for the speakers, um, and I think they played a lot of, like, Origin of Symmetry, um, I don't know, it just stood out, like, the lights and everything and the quality of that band, it was just yeah, stood out to me, it was amazing.
I love that. I also have a cow onesie, so I was really happy to hear you say that. It's, like, the best thing ever. Mine's pink. I'm like a strawberry
Right,
cow, you know?
that's very cool, yeah, I think I wore mine for, like, 3 days in a row, so it was pretty
Ooh.
gross. This is like when I was young, I would never do this now.
Of course, of course. So, now that you're headlining shows and shit, do you look back on those experiences of those great shows and think about what was so great about them and try to emulate that for your shows, or is that something that you'll do in the future?
A little bit, yeah, I think, what I try and do as a vocalist and when I was playing guitar is, like, watch the people I loved coming up with, like Daniel Johns from Silverchair, Fred Durst and Chester, and just kinda see, like, how they interacted with the crowd and not necessarily their moves, but just kind of like, um, yeah, envisioning us doing stuff on a similar scale and being like, "Okay, how would that fit in?" And just taking inspiration from it. Same with Incubus as well in their, like, morning view sessions.
Mm.
And I guess that, like, nostalgia of seeing those live acts in the '90s and, like, that's that I want that feeling to replicate for our set as much as we can. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad you said Incubus too, because I think I mentioned it to Jay and Jacob. I had it written down because you do have some sections of your songs that I really feel like you're capturing Brandon Boyd's vocal style. So
fair.
I'll be happy to see a show that emulates their live show because it's amazing. It's a great live show
Yeah,
as well.
they're crazy. They're so good, and he's such a good vocalist. Um, and I think, like, unintentionally because I've, like, taken inspiration from a lot of different frontmen, I feel like I start to, like, encapsulate a few different ones in, like, different, areas of our music, which I think is good, but, I feel like like I'm a new metal adoption person. I've just, like, adopted all this
Hmm.
inspiration. Hopefully, it comes out in the right way. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of
It's
inspiring
working
people
for
out
us. It's working for
yeah.
us. So Nintendo is asking, where would you see the biggest influence by Northlane? I think you said in another interview that Northlane influenced Profiler.
Yeah, they do for sure. That's a big inspiration I didn't note down earlier. I think their whole discography is insane. Amazing people, amazing musicians, always pushing the boundaries of their sound. Like each album is sounding very different. They're very technical. Jono, I think, is probably the main songwriter, but I don't know that for sure. I just think he's very smart and he's always kind of thinking outside the box. He's brought in a lot of like analog synth stuff in. So they're just like a very high level band. Um, and so of course they inspire us. And yeah, I just think it's really interesting how they keep evolving their sound as well. It's not like one dimensional. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that is something that it's such a weird conversation because older fans of bands are always like fighting the new sound, but as an artist, you have to be constantly evolving to
Yeah,
continue to be relevant and also for yourself to be able to make music that you love and that is a truly a reflection of you. We're always evolving as people, it wouldn't make sense for us to keep making the same shit. It's like if Paramore was still making the first,
yeah,
album, like Misery
yeah,
Business and Pressure and shit like that. And your music already in just the few albums, EPs that you have has already evolved so much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly as you say, it's like a natural involvement. I think it's quite hard to try and write the same stuff, because you can't, develop as a person, your skill set will develop. And then, yeah, it's just more interesting to change it up. It's nice to keep things in a certain parameter, like not go from like nu metal to like jazz or something. Like we're not going to do that.
Right.
But yeah, it's important to evolve for sure. I agree.
Absolutely. First of all, Davo says, I wonder if people thought Mike was also the NFL player with the same name. I think we need to get him the jersey. Did you know there was a famous NFL player named Mike Evans?
I had no idea. Yeah, no idea.
We have
I'll
to
have to
get you the
check.
jersey for sure.
What is weird is there's another Mike Evans who lives like 20 minutes from me, who's exactly the same age, the same height, and we're like pretty much like the same person. And we met at a gym like 8 months ago.
Oh my
Um,
God.
Now we're like best mates, but it's just like this super weird quirk of fate. So yeah, super strange.
Yeah, and you have all the guys in the band whose names start with J, everyone except for you, and you have Jay Evans in the band as well.
Yeah, yeah. He's like a Welsh brother, distant cousin or something.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy small world.
Yeah, weird.
Okay, let's talk about Profiler.
Yeah.
You've called yourself the band's spokesperson. Profiler is your baby. You've been the band's representative since the beginning, hiring musicians, changing the sound, the songwriting, etc. First of all, where's the name come from? Profiler. Who we profiling? What's going on with the name?
I didn't think we even thought of like the meaning of the name when we chose it, but it was more like what sounds professional. We were like like
Mm,
something with P, and then for a bit I was like pro 99, kind of sounds like 90s and cool.
right.
Um, but I think there's a new song we're writing that's called Pro 99 now. But yeah, just like professional, and then I was like profiler, one word, easy, like Incubus or Nirvana, and rolls off a tongue well, sounds metally.
It
Um,
does.
so yeah, there's no real like overthought meaning, and then people are like, "Oh, are you guys police?" And I was like, "I what? Like, I don't even
We're
know what that
profiling the
means."
streets.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you get like cops that like profile certain people.
Right.
Um, but there's no meaning behind it. It just sounded cool, basically.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
like when like you have, I'm sure you have tattoos and people are like,
I do.
"What's the meaning behind your tattoo?" And I'm like, "It
Yeah,
looks
right.
fucking cool. That's what the meaning is."
That's it. Yeah, people always ask me, they're like, "What is that?" I'm just like, "It's just like an accessory. It's body art,
Right.
basically. It doesn't have to mean anything. It's cool if they do, but yeah,
It's just sick, bruh.
yeah, it just makes you look better for
Yeah,
sure."
I'm cool. That's what it means.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't cool before, and now I feel like people look at me, they assume I'm cool just because I have tattoos, but
Totally.
they're a fool because 'cause I'm not.
Exactly. That's the other part. It's kind of like an illusion.
Yeah. Ah, very nice.
Jinerpot in chat said, "Might as well name the band Evan Essence." But
That's good.
the
That's good.
Evans
I like.
Essence. As the primary songwriter, which I think Joe also helps you a lot, is that true?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been quite a bit of me going up until the sort of album, and then Joe's been a part of it the whole way through. But then more so on this EP, he's like fully written tracks, like Luciferian and 888. And then going into this newer EP, a lot of the ideas came from me, but the whole band's completely brought it to life. So there might be a kind of seed that I plant, and then everyone kind of adds to it and stuff. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So, have you always been the one with the vision for the instrumentalists and just figuring out where the pieces are going to fit? I know Jay was kind of like a later idea or addition because you were the guitar player up until that point. So, how has
Yeah.
that vision kind of shaped for you?
Yeah. So I guess bringing in Jay's been a sort of from about 2 years ago, long term goal from when we went on tour with Vended. And I wouldn't say I was struggling, but I was finding it frustrating playing guitar and changing my pedal board and tuning and like talking to people at the same time, at least in a metal sense. I found it was like slightly hindering crowd interaction and stuff. So that was quite like a hard decision and a really difficult thing to like actually implement because I love playing guitar. So I feel like I've lost a part of myself, like I'm not playing guitar anymore, but I've got used to it. Um, and have always loved the idea of being able to like play a bit of guitar and sing like Deftones, or Fight Star, which is another great inspiration. Um, and be able to sort of like interact with the crowd, but then jump back on guitar as well. So that's always kind of been a long-term vision, ideally. Yeah.
I was also curious about something else you've mentioned in another interview where you had long periods of time where you were sitting on music that you couldn't put out for months or even years, I think you said. I
Mhm.
was just thinking about how difficult sometimes that might be when you write something, it's kind of a representation of your life in that moment. So to have to
Yeah.
sit on music for a year when you're probably already moved on to making new music and then it's just coming out and becoming this new fresh thing for people where for you it's like this, year old thing. How difficult was that for you to present it as this like new exciting thing when you had already been sitting on it for so long?
Yeah, definitely. Very frustrating. I think we kind of had that with the EP and the album. Like some of the EP tracks when we did release it with Sharp Tone were like pretty old already at that point. And then same with the album. So long story short, I don't think about it too much now because it's in the past and we're very lucky to be able to write and put stuff out quickly. But yeah, that's it's a nightmare because you're kind of done with it by the time it's out. You're not excited to um, share it because you're over it, and then you feel like you've got more to offer, and you've come a long way in like 2 years, and you've got better music you can be putting out, and you're like, this isn't representative of the quality of band we are now. Um, but however, obviously releasing this EP, that was like that's all pretty fresh for us. Um, so yeah, it's I'm over it now, but it was annoying.
I bet. Are you
Yeah.
are you allowed to talk about what happened with Sharp Tone?
Yeah, yeah, nothing, no issues with Sharp Tone whatsoever. Um, just like any label, like there's a process to releasing your music. And, it's no fault of their own. Like we just had some music written that was already ready that we then took into the studio that then had to be, you know, put together as a product and then released. That was the kind of process that was long, which is not anything to do with them. But I guess without a label, we would have been able to go like, okay, here's a fresh new single, let's record it and put it out. Rather than under the album deal we had to kind of do it strategically, which was the right thing to do. But for our patience of being able to put out new music, a little frustrating for sure. And then towards the end of the deal, obviously, I just don't think they saw the best future like with the band, and we weren't feeling great about it either. So it's actually the best thing that could have happened to us, to be honest, because I think we were getting a little tired of it. Maybe so were they. It just didn't work out.
Right.
Uh, but everything will be for the best because the EP we've done ourselves is, I think, by far the best quality music and production we've done. I don't want to say it's like their loss, but it kind of feels like it was a little early for them to cut us off, but it's what they wanted to do, so it's all good.
Was the song dope about Sharp Tone?
No, no, there's honestly no bad feelings. I don't carry grudges. And there was nothing like there was no issues. Like I really respect them and they massively helped out our career. And it's the label we wanted to sign with. So forever grateful and the team is fantastic. No issues whatsoever. But also it is nice to just do what you want when you want. So we're in a good place now. It's all good. It's worked out.
Speaking of being able to do what you want when you want, which I'm also glad that you parted ways with them because obviously now we have this EP and you guys are doing all these amazing things. So I'm happy that you're shaping your own path. And on that, along those same lines, I also heard that Joe, your bass player, does all of the editing for your music videos,
Mhm.
which kind of ties into all this. I think it's quite common these days for band members to do their own managing, promoting, cinematography, editing, lighting, really pretty much everything.
Yeah.
While I do think this gives a lot of power to the artist, like you're saying, to kind of shape your own destiny, present yourselves the way that you want, it's also a lot of fucking work to also be the artist and the performer and all of those other things I just mentioned. I think
Yeah.
social media has played a huge part in this by giving you direct access to your audience and a way to self promote where you don't need a marketing company to do that. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on this and how do you think our access to social media and content creation is helping or hurting the situation while an artist is on their journey to success?
Yeah, well, it's definitely changed a lot. And yeah, Joe's a beast. He does the videography. He's helped out with a lot of the photography elements. He's helped me out with some merch bits and bobs, and some of the branding and the posting, and like he's the kind of wizard of the sound, like live sound too. So he's like really carried a lot of stuff. He's a beast. So I'm very grateful for him. But yeah, I think Spotify, social media has both been obviously beneficial to bands. And it's like hindered some things. I think it's pretty bad with Spotify how little artists are paid. Because at the end of the day, you're like putting in a lot of work and then putting music out there and getting a fairly low royalty rate. But it is what it is. I think that system is a little bit broken personally. I think artists should be paid more. And then with social media, it's great because you can share your band to people that would never see it and create content and, you know, have cool stuff that fans can engage with. But um I don't know, probably like you, I guess I grew up when that wasn't a thing, so I would prefer a world where people just turned up to a show and, like, bought tickets, and the band actually made some decent money and could sell, like, CDs and vinyls and stuff again. So, I have my personal feelings about it, but it is what it is, so you gotta move with the times, and do the best you can with what we've got now,
Right.
basically.
I think a lot of people are speaking out about Spotify, so I'm hoping that there's going to be some changes to that structure, but right now it seems like their algorithm only feeds artists that are already hugely popular. So for bands like you guys, it takes a lot of self-promo and managing and marketing companies. So
Yeah, yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully it changes.
I want to talk about how as a musician, it does take quite a bit of sacrifices, not just in all these things you have to learn to make to make the stage product what it is, to have a studio product the way that you want it to sound. You've mentioned before not wanting to get a proper job, not to make fun of
Yeah.
your accent, but it's my favorite. And noting that add creating music does add color to the world, but what they don't tell you, when you're a kid looking at Limp Bizkit and System of a Down and starting your first band, and you're like, I want to be on stage like that guy, is all the sacrifices that you have to make in terms of your body, constantly traveling, working weekends, holidays. How would you say that being a musician has impacted your life in ways that you did not foresee? And what sacrifices have you had to make thus far?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. You do have to sacrifice a lot. It's quite an arduous process. So I guess I thought it would be pretty quick. I thought we would just like start a band and then like boom, we're off like touring with like Deftones or something, but that's not the reality. So yeah, I'd say yeah, in terms of the proper job thing, I don't think it's like you can't get a proper job, but I think if you want to put your band first. You kind of have to have jobs that facilitate you being able to have the time for it, the mental energy and capacity to create outside of it. And so I found when I have done like long stints in a job and it sucks away all my time, I've got less time for what I really want to do. So it's been a lot of sacrifices, but I do think it's long term worth it because I see us getting really big. So I would have stopped it by now, but there's still a lot of sacrifices to make, to be honest. Um, and
Yeah.
yeah, that can be, like, financial as well. You might not make as much money in the first quarter of your life because 'cause you're pursuing a passion, and then fingers crossed later it follows, with no guarantee, but it just depends on what you believe in, I guess.
It's true. And when you're working a proper job, at the same time, it seems like all of your free time goes into the music job, the job that pays the least.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a really killer fry scream. Has anybody told you that?
That's very kind. If people have mentioned it, and I'm very grateful for this. Yeah.
It's pretty great. So when you first were listening to like Korn and Limp Bizkit and really, I guess where would you be fry screaming from? Maybe System of a Down? Who did you learn fry screams from? Who were you emulating?
I was actually emulating, the guy from Tesseract.
Oh.
Uh, is it Daniel Tompkins? Is that his name? I think that might be his name. They've had a couple of singers, but I think he's the main singer. And I remember just trying to, like, copy what he did,
Mm.
and that was, like, the start. And then I guess, like, yourself, like a lot of people, you just build it over time. It's like going to the gym. You just work on it a little more and a little more. And when I first started, I was pretty shit, to be honest. But I think over like 6 years of doing it, your voice gets pretty strong. So like now I'm pretty stoked on where it's got to. But it was bad when I started, yeah.
Did it start like quieter for you and you had to build up power?
Yeah, yeah, it was very quiet and there's a couple of old demos of me doing it. It just sounds like a little kid. Yeah, like even when I was like in my 20s.
Ah!
Yeah, yeah, just like really like childish. Um, but it's a muscle, you gotta like grow it. So it was quiet, not powerful, and then over time it got louder and more powerful. Yeah,
Okay, so there's hope for some of us that are still in early stages, is what you're saying.
for sure.
So we did an album review. It was it was my first album review that I did like live with my community, and it was on Masquerading Self.
Cool.
It is a zero skipper. It is a zero skipper. Very, very good. I agree with your sentiment earlier when you said that you think it's your best product so far. I would absolutely agree with that.
Yeah,
Definitely the one I like the most. I have, so you probably know because of your family members, but most like millennial metalheads are not finding new music right now. They're like, I don't listen to new music. I've got my corn. I'm good. Not
yeah,
interested. And,
yeah.
my best friend Alex is one of those, and she still goes to shows, and, I sent her your EP, and her old ass listened to it and loved it, and she was like, "They should be opening for Korn," and I was like, "Yeah, they should
Right.
be."
That's sick. I
So
share the same view.
exactly, I told her I was gonna tell you that. When we were doing the album review, um, we noticed that there was a lot of language centered around the idea of good and evil, angels and devils. There was definitely some jokes that, oh, profiler Christian band, which I was like, I don't think that's what's happening here. As
Nah,
as a lyricist myself, my assumption was that it's just very strong language that is very relatable and that's easily understandable.
yeah.
So we were just curious if there was some previous ties to religion in your background or if it was just for that bold, understandable imagery.
Yeah, so definitely there was, like, when I grew up, I was a little bit religious, I guess, raised, like, Catholic. So I was pretty, like, going to church and all that sort of stuff. But no, we're not a Christian band, just to be clear. I heard that in the other interview. That's quite funny. Jacob was like, "I don't know, maybe he is." But, no, it's just yeah, it's just, his language can be metaphorical, and like more based in like the universe. But like you might send a prayer out to like the universe or God, but I can kind of mix those words sometimes. Source, energy, universe, God. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But it's not like the deity of a specific religion. It's just language, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I thought I was right, but when somebody challenges you, you're like, maybe they are a Christian band. I don't know.
It might be later. Someone might find Jesus in the band and we'll switch it up. We'll see.
You could have saved somebody with your music already and you don't even know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, August Burns Red are a Christian band, and I was, like, so into them as a kid, so, I definitely don't not believe in that side of things, it's just that's not necessarily what we're, yeah,
That's not
talking
the
about.
message you're trying to deliver.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. So potentially my favorite track on the EP was Luciferian. Song
Cool.
has a lot of elements that I can recall from Limp Bizkit, which is maybe why I love it so much,
Mhm.
especially the bass line and those little wicka wicka record scratches.
Yeah.
So I was just curious, when you guys are in the studio and you're getting ready to put the tracks down, do you have a conversation like before you even approach the recording where you're like, oh, I'm looking for a more hip hoppy type vibe on this one? Or really just like, how do you decide which way you're going to take it?
Um, so I think basically like, uh, yeah, Joe wrote that one. So it was the first time he'd written like a full song that was like, "Oh shit, this is really good." Because we'd had a few demos and stuff before, and I guess he's trying to sort of cater to my writing style a bit. And it was like, that's like close, but like all of us were never like not sure. But then he wrote that, and it was like, oh my god, like that's crazy. So long story short, I think with all the EP tracks, we just kind of we had like maybe 11 or 12, and we picked the best ones, and then we kind of refined them and trimmed the fat, rearranged stuff. Like Luciferian, I think, had a different second verse, but I was like, that tappy guitar bit is like sick. Like, let's just have that as a second verse. And yeah, we just kind of negotiate as a band until it's ready in Logic, and then we're like, let's go track it. Yeah, it's a pretty simple process.
So fun.
Hmm.
Well, I want to get into the reactions with you. We picked out a couple. I'm hoping that we picked some that you haven't already heard. But before we jump into that, what new metal bands are you currently listening to?
Um, I'm trying to think if I am. I'm having a bit of an Incubus phase right now,
Mm,
again. Um, so I've been listening to Morning View, Privilege. Is that the name of the
love
album?
Privilege.
Yeah, that's the one. So mainly a bit of Incubus, but I'm always listening to Limp Bizkit, man, like pretty much all the time.
I love
I'm
that.
obsessed with that band. They're so good.
All right. So have you heard the band called Say Six?
No,
Okay,
I don't think.
that's perfect. And have you heard the band Cellar Twins?
Nope.
I was going to be really surprised if you said yes to that. So I'm glad you said no because that was literally sent to me this morning by Davo. So let me get our screen open here. So we already did click click boom. That was gonna be a guessing game for you later. So I'm glad that I at least got to listen to that with you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do some reactions. Obviously, you've seen that I do reactions on my channel. This song has been named by some as the best song to come out of 2025.
Okay.
Obviously, besides Masquerading Self. That just goes
Yeah.
without saying.
When the river dries, I'll be laying there, wrestling next step, blood on my fingertips. I wanna drown in
Okay.
You could go on tour with them.
this hell is
Sure.
mine.
What are the three of them as well?
Every trial, tribulation, and
Breakdown? Nope. Good. Go on.
There it is.
Yeah, that's pretty intense. Yeah, that's sick. They're very good.
Right?
That's very good. Yeah. What's the name of that band? Said and
Sace
done.
6. SACE and the number 6.
Yeah, I'll write that down.
You could totally go on tour with them.
Yeah, for sure. Where are they from?
It's a great question. Let's see. Say 6.
American?
Where is Say 6 from? Yeah, Long Island, New York.
New York.
New York.
I'm walking here.
Yeah, I'm walking in. I gotta get a cup of coffee.
That's it. We said 6 and done. Said done and said 6. I'm gonna stop. But yeah, that was pretty sick. Pretty dope.
Oh,
Happy
yeah.
with that.
There you go. Okay.
Congratulations.
So this next one is gonna be new to both of us because I have not heard it yet. I heard the beginning. I was like, we're gonna do this together.
Okay.
All right. So let me get
Yep.
our scene back here. All right, here we go. Okay.
Alright.
I see a couple baddies.
Yeah.
Ooh. Damn. They're from Belgium. Nice. Damn.
Yeah, nice. Pretty cool. Pretty
They're
cool.
pretty cool.
Singer looks a little bit like the guy from Holding Absence. But
Oh.
he probably wouldn't want me to say that, but it looks like kind of similar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that guy?
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. I
that's cool.
liked it. Those halftime moments went really hard because it was so driving. Once
Yeah.
it got to that, it was really nice.
Yeah, pushed it. Yeah, that was good. Very cool.
All right, so for the last segment here, we're gonna do a new metal guessing game. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to put on your cute little mask that you showed me earlier.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty sexy mask right here.
I got 4 songs for you. Oh,
Is
you
that on?
look good.
It's upside down?
It's
I don't know.
perfect. No, it looks
Nice.
good. Looks good.
All
All
right.
right.
That's
I got 4 songs for you, and I'm only gonna play the first 3 seconds. And you gotta
okay.
guess the song name and artist, okay?
Okay.
It's all in the era that I know that you're well versed in, so hopefully you'll be good. Are you ready?
I hope so. Yeah, let's
All
do
right,
it.
let's do it.
Oh yeah, that's obviously Rage Against the Machine. Is it Bulls on Parade?
Yep.
Is that
Ding ding
yeah,
ding
no.
ding ding. You did it. Okay, that's 1. That's 1 out of 4. Okay.
Okay.
Number 2.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all you
break
get.
stuff. Yeah. I know that. Break stuff, Limp Bizkit.
Okay, all right. You're 2 for 2. Ding 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 ding. That's 2 for 2. Okay, he's gonna crush it. All right. Number 3.
Oh shit. I don't know who that is, but I guess it's Korn.
It is Korn. You want to take
I
a
don't,
stab at the song name?
I don't know that band well enough. I'm not like crazy. Shit. I know the song, but I don't know the name. That's so frustrating. Right.
Did you hear it?
No.
And play it again.
What do you say?
I'm here to stay.
Oh, is that okay? That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
We got you two out of the 3. Okay, we got 1 more. If you get this one right, you win.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Oh God. It's definitely Deftones. It's definitely Deftones.
Yep.
That's
Yes! Ding, 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 ding! You win! Okay, you can take your mask off now.
sweet.
You
So
did
right here
it!
now.
3
Hell
out of
yeah.
4. That's pretty good. That's
Pretty
pretty
good,
good.
pretty good. That's a shame about Korn, like, I should probably listen to them more because 'cause they're iconic, but I don't listen to them enough, so my bad.
Does
Sorry.
Joe listen to them? Because your instrumental parts sound really Korn-esque.
Yeah, Joe does a bit more, but also I don't think that much.
Mm.
I just think some of the chord voicings we use and the tunings is, like, impossible not to sound like certain bands. Like, we use a lot of ninth chords, which is, like, Deftones and Linkin Park. So that's why people are like, "You guys sound like Deftones." And it's like, "Yeah, but if you do a ninth chords, it's, like, impossible not to
Mhm.
now," 'cause
Totally.
they did all of it. Yeah.
Totally, totally. Well, that's it for my silly little questions. I want to thank you so much for coming on my live stream. And I, of course, have been promoting the shit out of your EP, Masquerading Self. Is there anything else you have going on that you wanted to promote before we go?
Yeah, we have, a couple of headline shows that we're doing that we've put out on our, Instagram on the 19th and the 20th of February, so the end of next month. So we're playing Manchester on the 19th, and then Nottingham, on the 20th of Feb. So if anyone wants to come to that, that'd be great. And other than that, we'll be also releasing a new track probably around then as well in February. Yeah.
Yeah, you hear that? Let's go. End of February. Fuck the record label. Release music whenever you
No,
want.
no, we love Sharp Tone, but also new music. So this is
Right.
good.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Of
Yeah,
course. Of course. February new track. That's right, Nintendo. All right.
what's up?
Well, we are going to end the live stream here. Mike, I am going to have you hold in the background because we're going to record a quick little thing right after
Yeah,
this. For my community, I just want to say thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your questions, your participation. And of course, big thank you to Nintendo for introducing me to Profiler to begin with, which is the whole reason why you're here right now. So
Nintendo.
thank you, Nintendo, and thank you to everyone. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hey there, friends. Thank you so much for joining Mike and I on that journey. I had such a good time chatting with him. After the live interview, Mike was kind enough to stick around and let me ask him some more questions off stream. This is what that looked like. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite animal?
Dog. Golden Retriever.
Golden retriever. You know, you look like a golden retriever.
Yep, I've heard that before.
Ritual that we do that doesn't make sense anymore. As an example, like saying bless you when someone sneezes.
I don't like I beg your pardon. I think that's really odd. Like you're
Beg,
begging. I beg your pardon, dear.
beg your finest pardon.
Yes, you could give me your finest pardon.
I
Very
beg of
odd.
you, please.
Yeah, please give it to me.
If you want to check that out, feel free to subscribe to my Patreon. The link is in the description box below. Otherwise, thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next time.